Hello, I'm Eric Noden, acoustic blues musician from Chicago, Illinois, and I play a lot of different styles of 20s and 30s finger-picking acoustic blues guitar, and I play in a duo with Joe Filisko, harmonica player. I have three different formats that I play in. I started off really just playing solo acoustic blues in the vein of, Robert Johnson or Mississippi John Hurt and stuff like that. And then more recently, in the last 10 years or so, I started working very closely with Joe Filisko, great harmonica player, and we have a duo where we do similar material but more focused on the guitar and harmonica combination. I think, Joe and we played at a blues festival in Sweden maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And that was really a memorable experience because Joe was playing through an American amplifier, playing amplified harmonica. And it had some sort of power converter connected to it. And as we were playing the last song, it was actually the encore of the performance. We were playing the encore. And when Joe would play a note harder, the lights in the house would kind of come down a little bit, and all of a sudden he went to play a solo and really played a loud note, and pow, the power in the entire venue went out. And so we looked at each other, and then we got up and went to the edge of the stage and played acoustically, and it was just memorable because the audience, I think, thought it was planned, and they were like, "Yeah, all right." But so we ended the song on the edge of the stage. That was a very memorable gig. And even more recently, in about the last 5 years, I also created a eclectic sort of band of sorts called the Sanctified Grumblers, which is an unusual combination of instruments. It uses washboard, guitar, banjo guitar, clarinet, harmonica, sometimes sousaphone, and sometimes upright bass. Well, I've been very fortunate over the years to get to work with several musicians who are also big influences on me, and one of those is blues harmonica player by the name of Billy Boy Arnold, and I actually produced Billy Boy Arnold's last CD, which is called Billy Boy Arnold Sings Big Bill Broomsy, and it was a tribute to the music of the great Chicago blues musician Big Bill Broomsy. So it's been a great honor for me to work with Billy Boy and get to really sort of create part of blues history by making this recording with him. I was also very fortunate to get to work with Honeyboy Edwards, who was one of the original Delta bluesmen and knew people like Robert Johnson and Charlie Patton. And eventually he moved to Chicago and settled there, and I was very lucky to get to back him up on a few different occasions and work with him. He's one of the few guitar players who had the older style of the Delta blues and was really rooted in the acoustic playing, whereas a lot of the more modern players are more electric focused in their playing. When I was a kid, my dad, he plays guitar just as a hobby, just for fun. Mostly he plays acoustic guitar, acoustic blues. And when I got interested in it, he just kind of asked me, well, do you want to play electric guitar or classical guitar? Those were the choices he gave me, and I said, well, electric guitar sounded interesting. So I started off playing electric guitar, but I wasn't really familiar with electric guitar music, I guess you could say. And I did that for quite a while. I played electric guitar until I was probably 16 or 17. And then I had a teacher who got me interested in classical guitar music. Classical guitar was really where I got the idea that I could perform and have a career as a solo musician, which was kind of hard to do, as an electric rock guitar player. And from there, I just kind of kept playing a lot of classical guitar music, and then I eventually got somewhat burnt out on that, and that's when I realized that the old 20s and 30s style of acoustic blues had a lot of elements that I liked in terms of it had a lot of energy and a lot of rhythm, similar to the electric music, but it also had a lot of complexity and interesting things going on that were similar to classical guitar, because you're using your right hand fingers and thumb to, play a lot of different voices. Well, I always loved, playing guitar, and I used to take guitar lessons at this one music store back in Ohio called Woodsy's Music, and I think I was about 16 or so. I used to always be hanging out around there, and one day they said, "Eric, you're always hanging out, playing our guitars. We're gonna give you a job." And they gave me a job teaching guitar, so that was kind of like the first time that I realized, I could, actually make some money as a teacher. And I did a lot of little gigs, just playing in restaurants and different things like that. And I think that was around the point at which I realized that I could somehow carve out a living for myself in playing the guitar. As a teacher, I've learned that over time that, if someone's going to get interested in music, they're really only going to pursue it if they get enjoyment out of it and like what they're doing. So I guess that would be my main advice to anyone, who wants to start off with the guitar is think about what you really like, or what type of music you really are excited about,